3, so we are going to pick up today of the Firework Maker's Daughter from where we left off yesterday. That was towards the bottom of page 63 when Uncle Rambashi said, "What a splendid sight! Do you know, my boys, that gives me my best idea yet, all we have to do." So it's right towards the bottom of the page. You can either follow along with me or listen to me, I don't mind. "Do you know, my boys, that gives me my best idea yet. All we have to do, we haven't even had our meal," cried one of the waiters. "Time to go, Hamlet," said Chulak. And they set off along the lake shore towards the mountains in the distance. By this time, Lila had come to the end of the jungle. Climbing all the time, she moved on as the trees thinned out and the path became a mere track and then vanished altogether. All the jungle sounds, the clicking and the buzzing of insects, the cries of the birds and monkeys, the drip of water off the leaves, the croaking of little frogs, were behind her now. When she had heard them, she had enjoyed their company, but now there was nothing except the sound of her foot on the path and the occasional rumble from the mountain, which was so deep that she felt it through her feet as much as she heard it through her ears. When night fell, she lay down on the stony ground beside a rock and wrapped herself in her one blanket. The full moon shone right in her face and kept her awake, and she couldn't get comfortable because of the stones on the ground. Finally, she sat up in annoyance. But there was no one to share her annoyance with. She'd never felt so lonely. "I wonder," she began to say, but shook her head. She hadn't come on this journey in order to wonder how things were at home. It was the way things were at home that had made her come on this journey after all. "Well, if I can't sleep, I might as well keep walking," she said to herself. She folded her blanket away and retied her sarong and tightened her sandals and set off again. The ground became steeper and steeper. Soon she could no longer see the top of Mount Merapi, though she knew she must be climbing the sides of it. There were no plants at all here, not even shrubs of grass, just bare rock and loose stones, and the ground was warm. "I'm close," she said to herself. "It can't be far now." But as she said that, she set her foot on a stone and it rolled under her weight and she fell, and a dozen other rocks rolled down with her. All the breath was knocked out of her, and she had none left to cry out with the rocks pummeling and battered. And she had none left to cry out with as the rocks pummeled and battered her. The rocks bounded on down the mountain until finally they came to a rest a long way below. Lila sat up gingerly. "Oh," she said, "that was silly. I wasn't looking where I was putting my feet. I must be more careful." She got up and found that one of her sandals had come off and had tumbled down the mountain with the stones. It was nowhere to be seen. Very delicately, she put her naked foot down and found the ground hot beneath it. Well, there was nothing she could do about that, and hadn't she come seeking fire? And hadn't she burned herself time and time again as an apprentice? And what did she need delicate feet for anyway? On she climbed, higher and higher. Before long she came to parts of the slope where all the stones were loose and where she slid back 2 steps for every 3 she took upwards. Her feet and legs were bruised and battered, and then she lost her other sandal, and she nearly cried out in despair because there was no sign of the grotto, just an endless slope of hot, rough stones that tumbled and rolled underfoot. Okay, we're going to stop there. So, enjoy your task for today, and I hope that reading that was really enjoyable, and have a good rest of your day, guys. Bye!